Coach Kennedy tonight. I mean, just for a freshman, he didn't. I don't think he took a bad shot. He looked like he dribbled into trouble one time and got the hook. But just what did you think about his maturity out there?
Well, Rob, there's no doubt. We know offensively, he's electric. He can do a lot of things. He's still learning how to run a system. He's defensively is learning that there's a lot of guys that have the ability to go by him. And tonight defensively he was reaching, lunging. We did that as a group, and we're giving straight line drives. We came in the game wanting to defend the 3-point line. We think it's really important when you play certain teams that we do that, but we've got to be able. And talking about Kennedy, I mean, at half court he let a guy drive from half court and go dunk the ball because he lunged. But with that said, I don't have any idea. Well, I do because I saw it on film at halftime where our help side defense wasn't there. So we've got to be able to defend the 3-point line plus help and recover back. But and he's got to continue to get himself in elite shape mentally. He's there physically. It's just continuing to learn how to fight harder when he's tired, because we still want a quicker pace out of him on the offensive end, because we just think we can get him going in the open court with people backing up. That's when he becomes really lethal, and he hasn't done that yet.
Martin shot, I think, 57.7 in the first half. What did you see defensively that wasn't? What was going wrong there?
Well, what I thought they did. I mean, obviously, we practice at a very high tempo pace. We don't practice a lot where teams are walking the ball down the floor, getting into a set. And I told the coaches, game started, hey, as much as I like to not let anybody get a shot off, sometimes we're not doing that, and you got to give them credit for making their shots. But they clearly had a plan to spread us out and drive the basketball. We had a plan that we wanted to defend the 3-point line, but when we say that, we still want to help each other in those gaps, and we weren't doing that. We were overzealous trying to guard the 3-point line, but the tempo they played was, we're going to see that some because we're going to run. We're going to try to get out and push tempo. We want to get in a high possession game, but we're going to play against teams that are going to try to slow us down that way by maybe taking a little bit longer time on the offensive end. And if we're playing defense the way we should be really forcing them into long possessions on the defensive end, on the offensive end, on our defensive end. But got to give them credit. I thought we knew they would be energized coming in like anybody this time of year, your first game of the year. I met Ryan Ritter a month or so back over in Nashville, and really impressed with him, and obviously knowing Dr. Carver, who was here when I got here, the job that hiring him was a great hire. They do good stuff. They came in with a game plan. They worked it, and like I said, they shot 43% overall for the game, but at one time they were up in the high 60s, and you got to give them credit for that. But we just felt like it was a good opener for us because it exposed that we've got to get better. And but this time of year, we know we have to get better, especially playing against outside competition now.
Ryan, Mike, and Ben.
Euros and Olivier seemed to get in a little bit more of a groove in the second half. Just what seemed to change for them, and just how did you assess your front court with Folke out?
Well, we made a mistake on the bench. I don't know how we missed it, but we had Olivier for 3 fouls, and the book had him for 4. And again, we don't know how it happened, but it happened based on what the table said. But Olivier, the more time he gets, the more we expect him to settle in. He did a yeoman's job on the boards. He got a double-double, but it was his effort to go get it. He was going after it. He picked up his 3rd foul, I guess, the one when he went in, and I told him, I said, you went into the guy as opposed to going up. But I think the more he plays, the more he'll settle in. And at the end of the game, we were there watching him. He kept wanting to switch, which honestly we were happy with it because we think in today's game you've got to have a post guy that can switch out on guards and guard them. And the fact that he was locked into it and wanting to do it, even though that wasn't the defense we were calling for, we really kind of liked it because he was like, hey, I'm going to show I can do this. And overall he did a pretty good job with it. And Urosh, again, I think the same thing, getting time. They need time. Obviously, get Fulke back, Brandon. All this is new for all of them, really, because none of them have played big minutes in games yet. So every minute they get, it's important.
Rick, what do you think this team's defensive potential is, and what will it take to get there?
I didn't hear the last part.
What do you think it will take for this team to get there defensively to where they need to
Well,
be?
again, they followed early what we said. Now, we have never, ever said to them, we're going to guard the three-point line and forget about help defense. We've never, ever said that. And we were anxious, there's no doubt. We were trying to make great plays, reaching, lunging for the ball, trying to make a play. Josiah actually said that and got driven by. And I said, look, we got to make plays as a team. It can't be one guy going off like I'm going to try to swipe if I miss, putting our team in trouble. But I thought Joe did a good job, too. He didn't make a bunch of shots, but he had, 4 steals, 5 steals, 4 blocks. And, Mike, it's, again, until we develop a rim protector, we've got to rely on our gaps, the discipline. We've got to have discipline on the white line, being there to help. And then, obviously, that puts us into, if we can stay in front of the ball, it solves a lot of problems. And we did a better job. We did do a better job in the second half. And when we did break down, it was because of just letting them get a step away from us on the other side, and we call it separation, and then trying to play catch-up the whole time, trying to get back in front of the ball. There's nothing that they did that we can't fix if we have the mindset to fix it.
Rick, I know you all are okay with taking more threes this year. Has your mindset changed on what a good three looks like from last season now that you all are taking more, or what does a good three look like now that y'all are taking more?
I'm trying to think right here. I don't think our guys quite yet have a feel, because there's a fine line. There's really a fine line about we've worked hard. If we're open, in rhythm, with shots that we practice, we're going to take them. But with that said, we have to have an offensive rebounding mentality. And tonight, I think we got 22 of them where we run them down. And we get offensive rebounds. Unless we can get a clean putback, we are definitely looking to spray up for a three. We really are, because to us it's an extra possession. And where we've got to understand a little bit is when we've gone, again, at some point in time, people are going to really guard us out there. There is no doubt, because they know we're going to shoot it. We got capable shooters. But even in games when we get good looks or just not going in, and we know that happens at times, that's where we've got to have a feel for, okay, we got to get some penetration, whether it's with a pass, whether it's we've got to make the defense work a little bit, even if it means turning it down the first one to try to go get a better one. And that's where part of what we're doing this year, we'll learn from it. But what we're not going to do is I don't want these guys hesitant. Obviously, John comes back. Will we do more through him? Obviously, we will. But we were trying to get some of that done tonight with O in there. But you can score in the lane with guards. I mean, they did it tonight. Think about it. I don't know if they really posted the ball that much, but they got to the lane and made some layups. We do have to do a little better job finishing some of those drives to the basket that we had.
Finish up with Troy and Grant.
Rick, you touched on it a little bit there, but 16 points.
I can't.
You touched on it a little bit there, but 16 points in the paint in the half court. Just how important is it to be able to establish something inside for nights when the shots aren't falling?
Well, it is, and again, you can establish some things inside different ways. If you got a player you want to post and go in there, you can, but we can get it with dribble penetration too. And Kennedy has done a good job. Zakai gets it there. He's going to have to make better decisions. It's all new to him. I mean, he's playing against bigger, stronger players than he has, and he's just got to make better decisions getting there. And the offensive end right now. Again, we always want to get better, but we've got to do a better job, no question, what we do on the defensive end.
Rick, how important is it for Fulke to get some minutes Sunday, and is there a realistic timeline for Jonas to get minutes anywhere in the near future?
Well, Jonas just got back right now. He's had like 3 practices, and Folke has been doing everything he can do without the contact, but he needs to get a little bit under his belt. And if he can, is it coming back? Is that what they think?
He's probably going to play Sunday.
So what he does, that means if he's going to play, that means he's going to have to do a little bit of work this week in practice. But again, he's been here long enough, and he knows, and you guys know him. He'll give us another dimension that we don't have right now.
Coach, thank you.
All right, thank you guys.